morning, everyone. I'm Ange. This is Sporty.
We're from Mostly Mindful, where we encourage you to live simply, buy less, and do more. And sometimes we also give tips on how to optimize your life.
Because why not optimize your life? So, let's dive in. What are we talking about today, Sporty?
Today, we are talking about how to protect yourself from negative energy.
But wait, before we get started, this isn't woo-woo stuff. We're not talking about using smudging sticks or incense or crystals or any other hippie stuff like that. Today is all about practical, super normal stuff. So don't be frightened off by the couple of hippies in Cape Town. It's not like that.
It's all very practical.
Yes. Specifically, what we're encouraging you to do today is to stop watching the news so much.
Yeah. So, in short, to have regular news fasts if you have to read the news or be in contact.
Staying abreast is something that people always use as an excuse. Whenever we tell them that we don't really engage in the news, they say, but how do you stay abreast and that kind of thing? And the point is, you can't actually avoid the news. What's important and what we're going to try and encourage you to do today is to be intentional about how you consume news. So you don't just sit there and watch hour upon hour of news because some event happened somewhere in the world. These kind of things stress people out. In fact, there's been studies to actually prove this point. I've written a blog post on it, and I'll link to that in the description where I talk about these studies and things. But suffice it to say, news stresses you out.
Just to put the scientific studies in perspective, there was a bombing at the Boston Marathon. Yeah, a lot of you will remember that. And they did a study on the effects, the post-traumatic stress disorder levels of the people that were there and the people that were watching the event 24 hours as it was unfolding. And apparently the people that were watching the event had a significantly higher level of PSD than the people that were actually there. Hey?
The thing was, people who watched 6 hours or more on TV of what unfolded on that day ended up being more stressed and having more symptoms after the fact. And, you know, on the one hand, maybe 6 hours sounds like a lot, but if you think about it, with the news playing 24/7 and a lot of people just sitting there consuming, it's going into your consciousness. It's just streaming in there. So,
and then also at the risk of sounding callous, you're not really providing any help to the people that are suffering by watching the event hour after hour after hour. If you feel the need and you want to participate, then if you have the means, make some donations or go there and help. Watching it doesn't really help the people.
There are things all the time that are going on. Like we've all just lived through COVID. There's the situation in Ukraine at the moment, which is absolutely devastating. But we can't do too much. We can donate to causes that are out there and helping those people. But it's not going to help us to sit here and watch the news about that all day. Instead, we must look within our own community and see how we can make a difference that way.
And I am going to add a little woo-woo in here because that's what I like to do. But meditating for a few minutes every day and dedicating that meditation to the people that you want to help, it really does affect things. It may not seem like it, and it does sound woo-woo, but I believe it does.
So I think the main suggestion here is, if you want to stay abreast, that's fine, but look for a reputable source. Don't just take in everything that's on TV, because just because they call it the news doesn't mean what they're saying is true. They're saying it in their own subjective way or whatever. So find reputable sources. Find a newspaper or some other outlet that you know can be trusted and that has just been objective about the facts, and then put it within a time frame. So definitely don't do it when you wake up. That's like the worst thing that you can possibly do. And stop taking in those things later in the day. So it's not marinating in your conscious when you go to bed. There's an article I actually linked to in the blog where they outline how exactly to do a news fast. So you'll see that in there, but it's really just about being considerate about it. We decided to stop watching the news actively taking in the news many years ago. We're much happier, less stressed than we were before, and there's no ways, we're not missing out on anything. News comes to you regardless.
Well, you'll be interested to know that whatever's happening in the world, somebody will tell us.
Yeah,
So
you can't avoid it.
My colleagues, just people you meet, they'll say, "Oh, have you heard?" And then you know what's going on.
Yeah.
And then one last point, there are actually good news sources out there.
Oh, of course.
So one example is Huffington Post. I don't know if you know of any others.
I know of lots. I'll link to them because that is a really good point. There's so much good news going on in the world. So many good things. People doing amazing things every single day, but it just doesn't get the same attention that the negative stuff does. It's quite unfortunate.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks, Sporty, for reminding us.
Yeah.
That's like you.
That's my point for the day.
Okay.
So well, that's our message for this week. Let us know what you think. Hit the subscribe thingy.
Hit the like thingy.
Guys, we're trying to get to 100 so we can have our unique URL. So get your friends to subscribe as well. We only need 25 more.
Yeah,
You
but
can
don't
do it.
stop there. Keep going.
Yeah. Subscribe, notification bell, and like.
Because that tells YouTube to put us in front of more like-minded people just like you. Sending love and hippie vibes from Cape Town. Have an
Cheers.
awesome day.
Bye. What? Let's move back a little bit. Not that much. Let's just start. So you're going to be dancing the whole video. And we're from Mostly Mindful, where we
encourage you to live simply.
Today we are talking about how to protect yourself from the negative effects of energy.
Today we're talking about
How to protect yourself
from negative energy. Sorry, let's do that again.